모든 경기장 도시형.
All right, welcome to this utterly broken, helpless, and shattered temple, ladies and gentlemen. Over here at the left position, we have our green Terran player. I'm sorry, I am sick. I apologize.
He's a Terran player.
Hailing from Team Mouse Sports. That's the guy who sang Budut. It is ThorZaIN.
That's, of course, to dub backwards.
Let's see here. He's clearly speaking. They're clearly speaking a language that I don't, and I apologize for my ignorance there.
Well,
but
ThorZaIN is Swedish, so I don't know if Aristeo is as well.
Europeans are renowned for knowing
many
know
languages.
Different
languages. It's true.
Well, his opponent over here at the right-hand side of the map is our red Zerg player who has already taken one game from Mouse. The representative from Empire is Aristeo.
Yeah. You know, I want to talk about the foreign language thing for a second here. I'm just going to do that, all right? So here's one thing. When I was over in Korea, a lot of the Europeans would be like, oh, yeah, you Americans, you only know one language. You just don't care about other languages and things like that. And I would surprise them by telling them that, and here's something that I don't think a lot of Europeans know, is that in American schools, nearly everybody has to take like multiple years of a foreign language in school.
Sure.
So whether that be German, French, Spanish. Yeah, I had 2.5 years of Spanish and a year of German. So I know a little bit of German. That. And that's not uncommon at all. So, and a lot of Europeans don't realize that the reason that a lot of Americans don't fluently speak two languages, though, is that we just don't have an opportunity to keep up on it after we learn it. You know, that's the problem. It's just such a big country. It's expensive to go to other countries, so yeah. I mean, I'm not using that as an excuse, but that's the reason why. I don't think it's that Americans don't care, or don't want to know more languages. It's just not really feasible to be able to keep up on it as easily as it is in the European countries.
Yeah, because
so there's my rant on languages.
No, it's good. I am actually going to start actively picking German back up again and learning German because I just really, really want to. It's my heritage for the most part and things like that. So I would love to live in Germany at some point. In fact, I'm eyeing up Dusseldorf because I just think that's an incredible area, Nordrhein-Westfalen. But
cool.
Yeah. So anyway, but unfortunately, last night I just played way too much StarCraft, so I forgot to jump back on my German lessons.
That's it. I've been Rosetta Stoning Korean, and I've been practicing, brushing up on a little bit of my German with you. You know a lot more than me.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
And look at this. Looks like ThorZaIN can opt for a relatively quick expand, as a matter of fact. He built his barracks close to home, then floated it up to the front.
Yep, just kind of messing with the opponent again. I mean, there's no reason to build that barracks right at the front. Chances of a 6 pool are pretty uncommon, and even if you do, you can usually still hold it off.
And Aristeo knows where his opponent is at, but of course has not scouted him quite yet. This is, of course, ThorZaIN's first foray into the middle of the map as well. We have a few links coming up, and ThorZaIN actually going to bypass the Overlord altogether. Just checks in, makes sure there's a base there, and decides to run on back home.
Yep, that's right. So sees that everything is as it should be. He's going to go into Reactor and Hellion as well. And so, yeah, just basically pretty normal builds from both of these guys. This isn't a map that you can do like a lot of crazy hidden stuff on. It's a fairly small 4-player map, so it's pretty easy to keep track of all the scouting, kind of check all the hidden spots. I'm sure we're going to see Aristeo send some links around the map here as well and just kind of poke into the front. So, yeah, both players having to play pretty much straight up this game.
And we'll see what Aristeo ends up moving into. He completely pulled off of gas now in these 2 bases, so saving up a good chunk of minerals for later on in the game. And I believe he got up there. Saw the reactored Hellions. Indeed he did, and the expansion as well. Yep,
so yeah, he knows exactly what ThorZaIN is doing right now. No mystery there at all.
Nope.
And interesting, 8 more links coming out for Aristeo here,
10.
Too. All right, 10 more links. Wow, that's a lot of Zerglings to make early in the game. He's only got 1 Spinecrawler, so this looks like it's just going to be some Hellion defense because he doesn't have drones on gas or anything like that. So it's not like he's going for a Baneling bust or anything. Just deciding to try to hold things off with less Spinecrawlers and more Zerglings. Interesting choice there by Aristeo. And, all right, what is he doing with those Zerglings? I wonder.
I don't know. Okay. He's running up around the vision of the Xel'Naga Tower, as he knows his opponent will take control of that pretty soon. So ThorZaIN runs on by.
He's going to try to flank them, I think, is what it's going to end up being. Either that or he might try to break through the rocks in the back or try to run by as well.
Counterattack coming in now, looks like. So ThorZaIN not going to be able to get in here. Obviously, there's a Spinecrawler and a few links.
Interesting. Oh, is he going to get up there? Oh, that was close.
Oh, yes, it was.
Oh, man. Oh, don't attack into that, Aristeo. Oh, Aristeo. Oh, you're going to lose so many Zerglings, man.
Yeah, yes. Does kill both the Hellions, though, and he can continue to put some pressure on this orbital command, which is kind of nice. The Hellions for his opponent are retreating now, and the rest of the links do go down. Didn't kill any workers, but a couple of Hellions. and kind of distracted his opponent for a while, I suppose.
Another counterattack. Aristeo being so aggressive here.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. This is cool. I mean, yeah, you cut your drone count down, but it's just neat to be able to put pressure on a Terran player like this. And there's, you know, another good chance that at some point he might be able to get right into the base. And yeah, that supply depot's down again.
All right, well now he is going to kill a couple of SCVs, so 3 or 4 of those have already fallen. Looks like he's tearing after the Hellions as well, which are now starting to get damage. And a good way just to prevent, you know, Terran players recently have loved the automatic map control they get with Hellions and things like that, and that's effectively been denied.
Yeah, man, Aristeo's like, no, I'm going to actually still control the map with Zerglings. I'm going to beat the trend, man.
Ooh, almost gets himself another Hellion kill there.
How many workers has he killed? He's going for another counterattack. This is a lot. Okay,
9.
He's killed 9 SCVs. He's spent a lot of money on these Zerglings. So his drone count is pretty low. As you can see, only 37 right now. So there is kind of a negative side to this as well, and that might come back to haunt him later on. However, the thing is that on this map, like we mentioned earlier, it's pretty tough to take a third fast or anything like that, so you don't necessarily need to make as many drones early on too, I suppose. So it's an interesting choice by Aristeo. We'll have to see how effective it's going to be in the end of the game. At this point, he's not really going to do any damage with it. Killing 1 SCV.
Yeah, gets 1 more kill and then sees exactly the units that ThorZaIN has on the field. So he knows he's starting to produce tanks now, moving into that pretty normal phase of the game. ThorZaIN actually has a macro CC up as well, so whenever the time comes, he'll be able to take his third very easily.
Yep, that's right. He's got the double engineering bay up as well, or he will soon, so he's going to be going for a lot of upgrades. Go for just a basic marine tank medevac composition. Looks like in the meantime, probably 2 base muta from Aristeo. Oh no, he does actually have the double evo chambers, so we might not see that. Might see the same thing as we did last game.
Well, let's see here now is that, yeah, that layer's on the way, and he's putting out his melee upgrades right now, so you're absolutely right. We could very well see an infestation pick coming up here in a bit. How much gas does he have? Oh, he does have all 4 at the moment, though, so...
Yep, that's right. Just kind of waiting for that lair to finish as well. It should time out pretty nicely with 2-2 as well.
And ThorZaIN starting to bust through the rocks now. He has 1-1 upgrades on the way for himself as well. And those destructible rocks are going to fall here momentarily, and he'll easily be able to take that third. And these Zerglings are going to take quite a while to get through the destructible rocks.
Yeah, but when they do, it's going to provide a nice little counterattack path that Aristeo will be able to use.
And looks like ThorZaIN just staring after that Zergling. Doesn't want him to get away, but unfortunately he will. Back over here for Aristeo, though. Just very, very strong Ling play right now. There's the infestation pit. Very reminiscent of Stefano at the moment.
Yep, this is a pretty popular style in Europe. We saw Damaga being one of the first people to really do it a lot back early last year. And then, of course, Stefano became very popular for it at IPL 3 and some other events. And now it's just really, really common in ZVT. It's a really cool style.
Yeah, I still love saying the most fun example of this style is you guys should watch the game of Stefano versus Marine King Prime on Taldra Malta. Marine King gets a huge advantage in the game, like up by 25 supply or something along those lines. But on pure upgraded Lings and great control, Stefano was able to rally back and win the game. And that's actually what sent him to IPL 3, otherwise Marine King would have qualified. So it's an incredible game. It's on our YouTube channel as well. I highly recommend you check it out.
Yeah, another good older example of that would be Damaga versus I'm MVP back from the GSO World Championship.
Oh, the World
Yeah, unfortunately that game ended with a disconnect, but it went on for like an hour before that in a very, very exciting ZVT on Taldra Malta. So some pretty good examples of it throughout time, throughout history.
And it is ThorZaIN in the game, so we're slowing things down a little bit. He's playing very defensively, now starting to push himself on the map just a little bit. Aristeo has a ton of Lings. Pathogen Glands are finishing up, and he has his first Infestors on the way. Is he actually just going to counterattack? He may very well. A big pack of Lings just running right through ThorZaIN's base, and they do get through. So ThorZaIN, he's going to have to possibly move back and try and deflect this damage, and indeed he is. Some Zerglings heading up to the top left-hand corner as well to pick off a couple of Marines and SEVs, so Aristeo just being very, very obnoxious with these Lings this entire game.
Yeah, it won't do a lot of damage, but it will buy him some time. It makes ThorZaIN lose some mining time as well, which is nice. But yeah, the biggest advantage of this is to buy time for his Infestors to get out. He was like, all right, I'm not quite ready to fight you yet, so I'm going to have to do this. Oh, and he actually has a chance to kill some tanks, and he does.
Nice.
2 tanks. He could have killed more, in fact. But to decides to just be careful with his lings. Oh, looks like he's about to break through in the top, too.
Yeah, he's, well, 2 lings are going to take a while to get there, and it looks like ThorZaIN's on top of that. So he'll be able to deflect that in just a bit. But our first burrowed infestors making their way out right now. 3 more infestors coming up in addition to the 7 on the field.
All right. Okay. I believe it was X-Lord that was one of the European players that was known for using this type of style early on.
Yeah, I believe you're right, actually.
You might get those tanks to fire at each other, too. Oh, man, ThorZaIN might see that. Oh, but if he scans, he's going to shoot his own Marines.
I know.
And right under the depots.
Uh-oh. Here we go. May see some fungals hitting a lot of units here. Some Zerglings are getting trapped at the top, but we're not too worried about that. Those are just all going to die.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow. Bye-bye, SCVs.
Oh, killing a big amount of Marines there. And does he have another fungal for those other SCVs possibly at the natural?
He's sitting up here at the top. He's still got 20 energy until he's able to drop up and hit 2 fungals, so it'll probably wait for a little while.
Yeah, what's the health on those SCVs? I want to see if he fungled them at the natural.
Oh, over at the natural. Let's see. They're still pretty good. Yeah, so he hasn't hit a 3rd one yet.
Right.
And, forces were caught a little out of position. Aristeo may be able to take advantage of that. No, actually, just going to move away into the siege tank back there, so that makes more sense. And there's 150 energy, so that's 2 fungal growths if he wants to pop up.
Yeah. Draws a stim as well when he was running those lings by a few seconds ago.
And there it is.
And there it is. Yeah, he catches a good amount of SCVs. Not quite as many as he was hoping for, unfortunately, but he does still kill a few of them anyway.
He's killed 38 workers this game, though, so very effective. ThorZaIN's still on a good economy and trying to take his gold here in a bit. His opponent trying to take his own gold. So 3 base versus 3 base. Worker advantage is Aristeo 75 to 62 at the moment.
It's such a crazy style because, I mean, this is the type of thing where if you get attacked by a big army and they don't turn around, you could just die, you know, because you're generally lower on supply. You have units that are very fragile in terms of Zerglings and Festers. But he's really making it work. He's keeping the Terran players in their bases. He's not letting them mine very effectively. We saw him do the same thing against Morrow. So Aristeo just doing a really good job of kind of controlling the pace of the game. You know, Zerg is usually more of a reactionary race, but Aristeo's not playing it like that. He's playing it like, you know, like Terran would be trying to play. You know, he's trying to be the one controlling the game.
And, yeah, he's done a really great job with that. You know, I mean, we talked about it earlier on with denying map control from Hellions over and over again. Yes, he took losses, but it bought him the time that he needed. Now he's got Ultras, a Nidus network, adrenal glands, pneumatized carapace, chitinous plating, and 3-3 all on the way at the same time.
Yeah, he's going to have such a strong army when this finishes. I can't wait to see what he does with the Nidus as well. Could just use it to ferry units around quicker, but could also harass with it a bit.
Does have an Overlord sitting above the natural as well. It'd be very easy for him to jump on back. Of course, it'll be within vision of ThorZaIN, of course, but full in energy and Fester running up to the top left-hand corner. Looks like some Lings trying to swing on through. He's just taking out small packs of Marines as best he can. He does that pretty effectively.
Yeah, it was a pretty cheap way to kill a bunch of Marines. Not bad at all. Just kind of parking that Infestor there for now. It can't burrow under the rocks, so unfortunately he is going to be kind of stuck there.
And let's see, that's not a great catch there, just those few Marines, so I don't think he'll waste himself on that, but we'll find out, though. ThorZaIN producing just every upgrade you could conceive of. We have our first Nidus Worm.
Oh, it's down at the bottom there. All right, well, the SCVs are going to drill to death. Yep. And Nidus Worms do not have a whole lot of health.
No, they do not, and that's revealed as well. Gets killed. And this Overlord is going to get picked off as well because, of course, ThorZaIN does live moving into his very upgraded Vikings as soon as possible. And, of course, he has his Telltale Ghosts out on the field now.
That's right. He's going to get that Ghost count up very high. Oh, look at that. One SCV just being lazy there at that base.
Where?
We're not going to look at it.
Which one?
At the 3rd.
Oh, at the 3rd?
Oh, no, it's not. All right.
Oh. Let's see here. We do have another Nidus Worm popping up now, and this is going to be enough to be able to get some units out there. 2 Lings. That's it. Bye-bye. 150 gone.
Yep. Nidus Worms are just so low health. I mean, they kind of have to be, but I still, and I felt this way for a long time, I wonder if they have a little bit too little health, but
yeah,
it's a tough thing to try to tweak. Nukes on the way for ThorZaIN, too. Very cool.
I'm very happy about that. He's producing 3 more command centers at the same time. However, our Zerg opponent is on 3 bases now, and once again, another Nidus Worm going to go down, so Aristeo just not getting any traction with those quite yet.
Yeah, more nukes on the way for ThorZaIN, going for 2 already. God. And Aristeo getting his Spire, he's going to be able to move into Broodlords here as well. But ThorZaIN already getting Viking upgrades, so ThorZaIN just moving into a very strong late game. I mean, we're getting into the point of the game where ThorZaIN feels very, very comfortable. So this is kind of right where he wants Aristeo to be, as strange as that may sound.
All right, well, he does, in fact, have the Nidoswarm up now, and it's starting to go through the destructible rocks. Yeah, Ultralisk get the back. In addition, looks like ThorZaIN trying to lift over a couple more command centers here as he goes through his resources. But Aristeo, he's got a pretty powerful attack making its way off to the left-hand side. Infestors in tow as well. Full energy. They'll be able to trap a lot of units. SCVs.
Does he get any? He does get a good amount of SCVs. Not bad at all. Yeah, Zergling's finishing those up. He does cause the command center to lift, but he needs to move those Ultras away. Doesn't need to lose those quite yet.
No, and it looks like he does sneak away for the most part into the Nidoswarm once again. This that Infestor has been sitting there basically the entire game now. Looks like he will take out a few more Marines on the way. So Aristeo is playing just such a fun variety of Zerg, although ThorZaIN is counter-dropping now and doing some damage.
Yeah, Aristeo trying to pick ThorZaIN apart piece by piece, but ThorZaIN still being very aggressive, very tanky as well at the same time. I mean, he's trying to drop, but he's also very active out along the on the map.
And yeah, looks like he's going to go after the sensor tower with a few infested Terrans. It's kind of amusing to watch. And Aristeo, he's got a few units there. EMP's hitting both of the infestors. The Ultralisks are going to fall very quickly as well.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, the Ghost plus the EMP definitely helps a lot. Wow, that sentence did not work out as well. What I'm trying to say is ghosts are good. There we go.
Yes, they are. You're absolutely correct. One Marine says, "I've got this, folks."
One Marine can totally kill that Nidoswarm too.
Doing a pretty good job of it.
In fact, he will.
Yes.
One Marine will just kill this Nidoswarm.
That's amusing. All right. So we've got another one popping up inside of the third, but that never got traction. Ton of command centers out for ThorZaIN, as he will eventually be able to just replace his SCVs with mules.
Yep. Pretty cool TVZ, man. There's a lot of stuff happening here.
Yeah,
Aristeo continues to expand. He's going to have the entire half of the map here in just a moment. But ThorZaIN is on 4 bases himself, including that gold. But he will be getting mined out pretty soon. And you know what? There's like no SCVs mining at his third as well. So his economy not quite as good as Aristeo's by a lot right now.
All right. Well, Aristeo finally getting some traction with his Nidoswarm. It's down to very low health, but ThorZaIN not really in a position to threaten it. And that Viking just has to kind of watch overhead. It is actually going to land, but he doesn't have vision. Oh, he scans to give himself vision and takes out the Nidoswarm.
All right. Well, he's got a lot of orbitals, so that's okay, I guess. Oh, nice snipe there.
Yeah, no kidding. Very nice job. Looks like more infestors popping up around the side, but all right, we'll see if Aristeo can make a stand here. I'm sure he can take out this group of units with a bundle, and there it is.
Yep, shouldn't be any problem, and looks like ThorZaIN will lose 3 ghosts there as well.
Yeah, pretty passive in the past few minutes, though, as both players are close to maxed. We do have a bunch of Corruptors that just popped up, so some Broodlords will be hitting the field soon.
Yeah, now up at that 4th base where we just went away from, one of the ghosts did cloak as well. Lived for quite a while. Did he get an EMPF on that?
Let's see.
Don't know if he did.
No,
nope.
Don't think so.
Doesn't look like he did. Looks like it's going to die anyway.
Yeah, bye-bye. That was not so fun. We have another Nidoswarm popping up now. We have a few units running through the front. We'll take a look at those in a second. Nothing actually coming out of the Nidoswarm. It's actually Ultralisks unopposed. And ThorZaIN, of course, with his great snipe control, is able to take out a lot of those.
Yep, that's right. He won't have any trouble defending that. So Aristeo at this point needs to be very, very careful how he engages things. With the composition that ThorZaIN has, it's going to be so easy for him to lose units quickly. He's going for Broodlords now, but keep in mind, ThorZaIN still does have a lot of ghosts with snipe, and it looks like he's going to kill this base as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, that Infestor does drop down a Fungal. Would have been able to catch almost all of those units. Hatchery down to 300, 100, and dead. Very nice job. Loses his whole drop, though.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. But ThorZaIN reproducing immediately again, just making 4 ghosts and more nukes as well. Yeah, he hasn't started using those nukes yet at all either.
Nope. Had those 2 basically the entire time. We have any Overseers overhead? I would assume we do. 3 of them, and they're actually all right here with his Broodlord army.
Yep, that's right. He does not want his Broodlords to be nuked. He saw what happened to Stefano in that other tournament against ThorZaIN.
Oh, God. I just remember Total Biscuit and Apollo screaming about that. It was awesome.
Drop at the main here for Aristeo.
Yeah, and it looks like that is, in fact, going to get cleaned up. So, nice job defending once again. Thor hitting the field as well, the namesake of ThorZaIN himself. And that is actually a pretty staggering amount of Broodlords.
Yep, that's right. Interesting choice to get the Thors here, too. I wonder if he's just doing that for Ultralisks, possibly. rather than make Marauders.
All right, well, he's going to snipe out this Infestor, and we're going to see if we hit some chain nukes. Yeah, on all the tech. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, that is actually going to just kill the base of Aristeo. That's like 3 nukes at once here. And, oh, he fungles the ghost. Is it going to be fast enough, though?
I don't know. 2 nukes hitting.
Close.
Oh, 1. Only one is able to hit.
Right. Wow, that was a close one, man. If all 3 of those nukes had hit, everything there would be dead.
Yes. Oh, most certainly. So... all right, well, let's go ahead and take a look around. ThorZaIN still has an enormous number of ghosts on the field, 18 right now. He's getting +2 ship weapons. How many Vikings? 12 of them, with 4 more being produced at a time. Aristeo's Broodlord count has not increased recently, so I meant to look at the units tab there. Still just the 18, but he's got 6 more Corruptors on the way.
Yep, that's right. So Aristeo's still in great shape here, but ThorZaIN's upgrades, like you mentioned, are looking pretty scary as well. Aristeo upgrading missile attacks, too, so we might see him switch into some roaches a little bit later on. And, wow, no carapace upgrades at all here, too. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's see here as...
oh, where are the Corruptors, man?
Or Infestors or any anti-air.
Yeah, Aristeo moving way too far ahead with those Broodlords. Has to be very, very careful about the Infestors. He needs to do something with his Broodlords. It's getting a little bit ridiculous, man. Nice spread on the Vikings, too.
And there are Overseers overhead, but they've moved off to the side, so there's actually no vision of that. Nice. Fungal catching a lot of ghosts, though. Finally, the Broodlords falling underneath, but their snipes have done an incredible amount of damage to these Broodlords already.
Yeah, great EMPs on those Infestors as well. He got all of them except for one, and the other one can't get close enough because it's these tanks. But still, ThorZaIN not quite having enough. Only 1 Thor to hit air right now. He does still have some Vikings.
Oh, let's find out if that's going to be enough. Not a lot of anti-air, as all the energy on the Infestors has gone away. The Ultralisk just got slaughtered, just straight up slaughtered.
Yeah, it looks like ThorZaIN does have enough, just barely has enough Marines in there and Vikings to finish off the rest of the Broodlords. So ThorZaIN does come out ahead, but he is lower in supply. Aristeo will be able to max out faster. Yeah, 12 Ultras on the way. This is a great idea by Aristeo to switch into that. Because look at ThorZaIN still making Vikings, making Ghosts. It's still going to be okay for him, but he might be able to surprise ThorZaIN a little bit with this.
Well, let's see if those Ultras can make a difference in a bit. Oh, just those Zerglings annihilated. One makes it out, the lone survivor.
I don't know, man. I don't think these Ultras are going to be enough. The tank spread in the middle is looking great for ThorZaIN.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it looks like Aristeo will be able to deny some mining here, but...
yeah, he's counterattacking pretty effectively. He should be able to take out a couple of Vikings as well. Nice job by ThorZaIN to pick them up as they're injured, but still allowing them to do damage. 193 supply to 182. 2 more Ultras in addition to the 12 that are already on the field, plus 2 ranged attacks coming out as well for Aristeo, but of course not really anything to take advantage of those quite yet besides Infested Terrans.
Yeah, the Vikings just were not enough. And those Zerglings are still going to continue to do some damage, denying a lot more mining time. ThorZaIN's getting very low on minerals. He needs that mining time. And take a look at ThorZaIN's third right now real quick. Look at that saturation. It's just non-existent. He's still got a good amount of minerals there. He should be mining that better, but in the middle of the map, here's the big attack.
All right, well, Ultras are just trying to brute force their way through. They're actually doing a decent job through the front run of units, but now there's a couple of Thors sitting in the back along with a bunch of Cloaked Ghosts as well, but they've expended the vast majority of their energy, and there's still some Ultras that are alive. It looks like he is going to back up at the moment, though, while he produces 5 more Ultras and another bunch of Lings.
He killed most of the tanks, and that was kind of the big thing he wanted to do there. Now he can continue making Ling, Infestor, Ultra, and do okay against this. You can see ThorZaIN just doesn't have the energy on those Ghosts and just doesn't have enough Ghosts as well to finish off all the high-tech units that Aristeo has been able to make on 6 bases. So, doing okay here.
Wow, Aristeo just going for it, though. He's just going to push his way through, but not all of his Ultralisks are attacking. In fact, only 3 of them were attacking at a time through the front, so he was not cost-effective at all with those.
Yeah, I think he's going to need a much higher amount of Zerglings to do an attack like that again. I hear a nuke going down somewhere.
Yeah, it's right there, as a matter of fact. I don't know if Aristeo's picked up on that. Oh, there's another nuke hitting as well. Oh, that one's found out, though. Not going to do any damage. I'm not sure if there's an Overseer overhead. Oh, the nuke still hits.
Ouch.
All right, so he's starting to make up that workers killed counts. Not a ton, but a little bit at least. Aristeo gifting a few Overlords, just trying to check out and see what's going on at the moment. More Ghosts, more nukes coming out at the moment, along with a bunch of Marines. First time we've seen those really produced en masse.
Yep, definitely could use some Marines here as well. And I like that little move with the Overlords from Aristeo, kind of checking out ThorZaIN's base, but also maybe pulling some units out of the center of the map, allowing him to attack there. ThorZaIN, however, did not fall for it.
No, he did not. So it looks like we have another Nidus Worm coming up. It's over at the 12 o'clock position, so we'll track that here in just a second. A few Marines trying to make their way up, but it looks like these... oh, they actually do pick out an Ultra, but Aristeo was more concerned about this over at the top, denying yet more of ThorZaIN's mining.
Yeah, it gets a lot of that. One of the last mining bases with for ThorZaIN. What the heck? He denies some mining. There you go.
Yes, yes, he does. A nice little pattern on his infested Terrans there.
Yeah.
Let's see. As he's picking up more SCVs, he's doing a very effective job of that. He's killed 76 already. The infested Terrans will get cleaned up, but he's denied yet another base, and that's allowed him to retake the supply advantage. But there's a nuke hitting down right now. We're going to see if Aristeo wants to go for it. Is he flooding with any more units behind? A few infestors, and he does manage to kill the ghost that was throwing down the nuke, but his front line of units just got stomped.
Yeah, that's right. This army for ThorZaIN just looking a little bit too strong for Aristeo to handle right now. Wow.
All right. Well, this has turned into a crazy game. Of course, a standard ThorZaIN 35-minute game thus far.
Yeah, well, a lot of late-game ZVT is just very, very ghost-centric, and ThorZaIN is definitely one of the best at using ghosts. And it's not just spamming snipe. You know, you have to choose what to snipe. You have to choose... Oh, another nuke. You have to choose what to EMP as well. So it does take more skill, I think, than people give Terran players credit for.
And it looks like he was nuking out in the middle, hoping that army would be there, but
ghost.
It's not. Oh, God, there's no Marine there.
Oh,
so
almost killed the ghost, too. Whoops.
All right, well, most of the Marines are going to go down here, and these ghosts have pretty much used their snipe so far, so they'll be uncloaked in just a second, and they're not going to do too much damage to the Ultras. However, ThorZaIN trying to push down and start sieging up this base as his own base actually gets attacked, so ThorZaIN successfully doing some damage down here. We've got a few more units. A couple of Broodlords are going to make their way over. Look at that! We have Seeker Missiles and Corvid Reactor coming up at the same time now for ThorZaIN.
I think Seeker Missile is going to become so much more popular in late-game TVZ, especially with the Ghost nerf that just happened on the last patch. So watch for that, definitely. But looks like Aristeo, is he going to be able to force this army back? I think he's got enough. Yeah, he does.
Looks like he does.
Yep.
And ThorZaIN cloaking up a little bit to go ahead and take out a few more drones, but you know, he doesn't kill that base. Aristeo still hanging in there. He doesn't have as many banked resources as his opponent right now. But this is just getting crazy. We're going to start seeing some Ravens in a bit.
Yes, and I will be happy about that. I love Seeker Missile. Now, ThorZaIN, though, he is getting very low on resources, so, you know, he's going to have to start relying on these spellcasting units a lot more. That's something that has damage that replenishes itself through energy and isn't something you need to spend minerals on. So in this very, very late-game situation, spellcasting units become a priority for really all the races, and that's why. Because, you know, there will be a point in time where you can't make any Marines. But you know what? Ravens, if you keep them alive, are going to have unlimited Hunter-Seeker missiles. Ghosts are going to have unlimited snipes if you keep them alive, because that energy doesn't ever run out.
All right, well, we have an attack launching again for ThorZaIN down here at the 6 o'clock position. Looks like he's just going to try and tear after the hatchery. He will get it this time, but at the same time, Aristeo's moving after the 12 o'clock position. He denies it once again. There were some pretty freshly dropped mules, and those are all going to get destroyed. And ThorZaIN just trying to go for another base. If he actually gets 2 for 1, that would be a big advantage for him.
Yeah, this is still such an even game here. I mean, both players trading blows, and ThorZaIN looks like he's got a good chance of taking out this hatchery, too, if he decides to target fire that.
It looks like ThorZaIN has slowly been pulling an advantage so far, so 2 hatcheries is going to be great. Oh, bye-bye drones.
Yep.
Oh, that makes me a little sad, actually.
I don't know. I enjoyed watching it. It was fun.
It was good.
This Ravens building some energy. They're not going to need point defense drone. They're not going to need missile turrets. It is going to be Seeker Missile.
Yeah,
it's going to be quite cool.
That's all of Aristeo's mining. That's actually it.
Yeah,
he's down to 89 supply.
Pretty much. And ThorZaIN still has 2 bases with some minerals here. He might be down to 1 soon, though. Oh, yeah, he sees those Ravens. He's like, I don't want my Ultralisks to be clumped up anywhere near those.
Right.
Yeah, just pulls them right back.
5 more energy, and they'll have enough for Seeker Missile, of course.
Yep.
But
couldn't take the chance, though. Yeah.
Of course, of course. Let's see here now. There's a few Marines running out to the top, one patrolling back and forth, being the brave one. But Aristeo had to pull back through the Nidus Swarm, and it looks like his units came out through the bottom somewhere. There they are.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of drones yet, either. How many drones does he have?
16. That's it.
Wow, so
15.
that is actually a very large army for Aristeo then in that case. Because look at... oh, no, he's not. I had the supplies mixed up. Yeah, ThorZaIN's just way, way ahead at this point. Yep. Never mind.
Yeah, ThorZaIN is incredibly far ahead right now. Aristeo needs to find another 150 minerals somewhere so he can put down another hatchery. It's got to be his priority at this point, but...
it's not going to happen, though.
I don't know how he can engage this head-on.
Yep. Looks like he's going to drop those tanks on the high ground to take out the Nidus Worm.
Bye-bye. So eventually, ThorZaIN will be able to set down that orbital command once again. Let's actually take a look around now as Aristeo is at 213 resources. He does actually have enough off of this mineral patch that he will eventually be able to put up another hatchery, but I don't know if that alone is going to be enough. ThorZaIN is just looking too good right now.
Yeah, ThorZaIN is really looking fine. I mean, he's got nothing to worry about. His upgrades are all really, really good. He's got plenty of Ravens out building energy. He's building more nukes. I mean, yeah, he's losing a couple SCVs here and there, but overall just looking unstoppable at this point. I don't think this is a game that Aristeo can win.
No, I don't think so either now, but ThorZaIN playing it very patiently, very ThorZaIN-esque. We've crossed the 40-minute mark.
Yep. He's taking little scoops out of his opponent piece by piece, man.
And looks like Aristeo, instead of a hatchery, decided to put up another 12 lings here. And ThorZaIN scanning, making sure nothing too much is overhead. Oh, there is an Overseer, and the ghosts are going to die.
Yeah, wow. Oops, not paying attention there. But he's got some resources to spare. Look at that, 31, almost 3,200 minerals and almost 700 gas for ThorZaIN. Yeah, he's perfectly fine.
All right, well, let's see here now as Aristeo is moving down to the bottom left, clearing out this base once again. He has a Corruptor on the way, a single Corruptor. It's what he saved up all of his precious minerals and gas for. Let's see here. Oh, and now ThorZaIN's got him in a pretty bad position, as Aristeo's going to have to take the long way around, actually go through these destructible rocks.
Yeah, he's got him trapped. ThorZaIN sees that. He's like, ah.
Oh, here we go. Are we going to see Seeker Missiles?
Seeker Missile time.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, they do so much damage, dude. People don't realize. Oh, throwing down some auto turrets with the energy, too. Yeah. Nice job there. Snipes going down on the Ultras. They do break through the rocks, but this is now just a game of cat and mouse, and ThorZaIN is the cat.
ThorZaIN is the cat. Aristeo was a crafty mouse for quite a while, but couldn't make his way through, so that's a huge amount of go sitting there. So
yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All right. Well, we're just waiting for the inevitable, folks, as ThorZaIN is going to take this game. We're just waiting. It's all over now, but the shouting.
Yep, not even anything to really mine at any of those bases. So Aristeo is still trying to make a valiant effort of it here, but it will be all for naught, unfortunately.
And look at that. ThorZaIN already making his way up, and he uses the last of Aristeo's money to get that done. We'll see if he may just decide to sit there and let the units come through and kill them one at a time. No, he's actually backing away at the moment. So Aristeo does get all of his forces out, and that's going to force ThorZaIN back around. That shouldn't be that big of an issue.
Yep, and I think we're going to see some more Seeker Missiles.
I hope so.
Range. The range is so small for that. Yep, there are the Seeker Missiles targeting the Infestors.
Nice.
Damn, it can't even hit them after they go underground. Yep, after they burrow. It's definitely true. Seeker Missile's so expensive, though. It's unfortunate.
I know. When you think about how much you have to do to get a starport, then a tech lab, then probably a Corvid reactor, and then Seeker Missile, and then a Raven on top of it, it's a huge investment.
Yep. GG from Aristeo, and ThorZaIN ties things up for Mouz. It is now 1-1 in our IPL Team Arena Challenge match here today.
Yes, it is.
I think this could be a long one. I